guys, my name is Shraz.
And my name's Rita, and this is
Almost there?
Question Mark.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today,
Do you want to say that, or do you want to? Because then
and everybody else, whoever wants, so whatever you identify as. Today we are, honestly, guys, we've sat here for almost 40 minutes.
Quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe longer. Just catching up and trying to come up with a topic, and we really can't. So we're just gonna shoot the shit again.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
You know what I really want to do? You know what I really, really, really want to do? Let's see what you want. Really, really want. Okay. I want to be in either a bowling league.
Okay.
Duh.
I'm not. I'm smiling.
Okay. Then, or
Or. You said then.
either
Both?
one.
Okay.
No, actually, I don't think I could commit to all that. That's a lot.
Okay.
Okay. A badminton
Oh, that's vibes.
Down
for that.
or volleyball. But it will probably injure me a lot. So I'm kind of like, maybe not that. But I love badminton.
I do too. Why don't we start a league? You're closer to me now.
We can start a league.
Yes.
How many people do you need in a league? I think you need more than 2.
Oh, there's only badminton? You can play in 4s though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, our partners are very supportive. They'll join. So,
That's a league.
yeah, that's 4
Yeah.
people. And then...
Yo, I'm actually going to look into it.
No, I'm so down. If it's badminton, I'm so down. Other
Yeah.
2, no thanks. So you can do that alone. But my partner will be down. Yours will. So I'll be a cheerleader for the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but badminton I'll do.
Okay. But how sick would it be though? Because
No,
you
it would be
actually
sick.
like get to do different things with people that you already like hang out with, but like now it's like
So yeah,
You know?
it's an
And you
actual
meet other
thing.
people.
It's an actual thing for boys though. Like they do it a lot. Like guys,
yeah, like it's so normal for them.
They do like basketball. So my coworker, he does basketball, he does volleyball, and they're both co-ed league. No,
Yeah, that's
basketball
so
I think is
cool.
just guys.
Yeah.
But volleyball is co-ed, and then
Yeah.
he does he goes to gym, whatever. My fiance, last summer he did like softball. He did
That's cool.
not kickball. Maybe kickball. I don't know. He did 2 leagues, and then right now he's doing track. Like, hello? Like,
Yeah.
could never be me.
No.
Badminton, maybe.
Track is crazy.
No, track is crazy.
What are your thoughts about trophy wives? Do you have any thoughts about them?
If they want to be, I think it's cool.
Yeah. What about those people who like make videos to like teach people how to be a trophy wife?
I think it's funny. Like, go. Kudos to you that you could do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So in that video, like I married a monster. It's like this big video currently that's like circulating and stuff. And it's about this lady who talks about her experience and what kind of like went down with her husband. And like if you need to watch it, go watch it. It's called I Married a Monster. It's on YouTube. But basically that's the reason I brought up the trophy wives thing, because a lot of people are saying she brought it onto herself.
Fucked.
Yeah. So they're saying she brought it onto herself, but there's more context to it in terms of basically at the time that she had met her husband, he's 20 years older than her. At the time that she had met the husband, her lease with her ex-boyfriend or something was like ending. So she told this guy who she met like 2 or 3 times. And at this time, he already met her kids from before after 2 or 3 dates.
Okay.
And, or I don't know, at that point, she was already ending her lease with her ex-boyfriend. And she said, I don't have a place to stay. So can I move in with you?
Okay.
And she took her kids with her, of course.
So the thing is, though, like, it's very much like people are very like biased and judgy, because if it would have turned out amazing and it was the most perfect love story ever and he's turned out to be the greatest man, they'll just be like, when you know, you just fucking know. Like, it doesn't matter like what other people say, if he's kind, if he's loving, like, and if like, what's that word, what's that saying, if he wanted to, he would. So it's just like, I feel like depending on how the situation pans out, people judge that person for a decision they made before, because hindsight is always 2020, right? Like it's I understand.
But I think the difference is when you bring kids into it, it makes it much more, whether it became a good situation or not, is it still okay for you to bring your kids into this situation with this man who you barely know? After the first date, like, or like, yeah, after the first date, technically she introduced him to the kids.
But if you want to be devil's advocate and that,
Yeah.
well, not even devil's advocate, if a mother, if she feels like she has no other option and she's going to take her kids on the street or whatever the case may be, or
Yeah.
she's going to put her kids in a situation that she doesn't think that's the lifestyle for them, and there is an opportunity to give them the lifestyle that she thinks they deserve, wouldn't she choose that over something else?
No, because you don't know who this person is.
Is he living with her? Or is this an
Who's
apartment
he?
Just for...
They're living together. She said, "Can I move in with you?"
I know, but I think like you can make the argument of like maybe she was protecting her kids in that situation, right? Like maybe she felt like that was the option that was best for her kids at that time. Whatever. There's always going to be risks with everything. Like tomorrow, like God forbid. But I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, the person that you're with is a stranger, right? Like people even that you've known for 4 or 5 years, like if you didn't grow up with them, they're a stranger. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know how they are.
Yeah.
They could snap in a second and you could look back and say all of the, like they did this one thing and you could have read that differently and it would have led you to this moment. You would have avoided this moment. And I just think that people like judge that person extra hard because now they know what the end result is. And if the end result was different, then the judgment, like everything would be flipped. But now they're not even giving her the chance or looking at the other end of it. I do agree. It obviously wasn't the safest, right? Because she didn't know this guy, and it is obviously
It's not safe at all.
It's not safe at
It's
all.
not a safe option to give a man that much access to your kids.
Yeah.
I don't think I honestly think it's period.
Yeah.
I don't think in any scenario, and obviously like we don't know where she's coming from, and apparently she's a product of SA, and so she probably has her own traumas and all of that stuff, and she has her own stuff to deal with, which just goes back to the point of not everyone should be parents. But it just is like I think it's like, for me, that's my opinion, where I think like your kids are your kids. Like your kids didn't ask for this life. She's put this stuff out now about her kids, about what happened to them. They're very young, and that happening to your kids is like fucked. And now you're putting out their trauma for the world to see. Yeah. So like it just, I don't know, the world is a weird place for sure, but I don't think, of course it's 100% the guy's fault and he's fucked and it's so weird and it's not okay and all of that, of course. But I also think as a parent, you have a different responsibility where you need to, if she wanted to move in with him and the kids were like, I don't know if that was a thing, and the kids could not be in that vicinity, it would still be an okay situation because she's putting herself in harm's way and that's her decision to make. But now you're making decisions for your kids, which eventually led to them
something happening to them.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah. I don't, like, at the end of the day,
you're being negligent.
You are. You're being irresponsible.
Yeah.
And I don't know
The
what
negligent came because she herself said that she went through SA with the guy after they got married.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the
And
fact
keeping them in
that there
situation.
was that, right? First, you're moving your kids into the place where you don't even know this guy, and you're buying him a wedding ring and shit, and you don't even know who this guy is. Next thing is this happened to you multiple times, and you still allowed it to be this way because of that trophy wife life that you got. You know, so it's like, how many things are going to be okay for you? How many things are you willing to take because you want this life for yourself and your kids, maybe?
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know that context. Like, I don't really know the story.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that context of, like, what she was bringing them into and all that kind of stuff. But I still think at the end of the day, like...
It's 100% his fault.
It's his fault. And I think
100%.
that ends up, like, that disappears a little when people... 100% she's obviously wild for staying in it only because she wants to keep up this, like, trophy trophy wife persona and like want this lifestyle over keeping herself. Forget about her kids, which you can't, but I'm just saying, like, forget about them, but keeping herself in a dangerous situation if she can't even think about them. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the social media is wild. Like, I don't think like, everybody will probably have the same reaction towards him, but she's probably going to get the crazy wrath because she's the one talking about it. And that's unfortunate, I think.
Yeah.
Because she's not the one who did it.
Yeah.
And she obviously has baggage and trauma that she's dealing with. And she put this up, I don't know for what reason. But, yeah, it's rough. Social media is wild. Like, even right now, do you know Cecily? You're not really on TikTok, right? So there's this one social media influencer and her sister-in-law, this is a complete turn, but it'll fall into place eventually. Her and her sister-in-law were selling pajamas, okay, online. And these pajamas were like $74 like per set. Holy. And she's like, it's called 4theMems because it's like creating memories, okay? And it's like matching pajamas for like everyone in the family. So the mom, dad, and kids. And they have they don't have size charts for these pajamas. You can't do returns. They're only Christmas pajamas. So you're only getting store credit. So first of all, you don't even know what you're buying and how long these things are. The description is for the pants, they're long, just not too long, okay? And like all of these things.
But they obviously, are they successful?
Listen, so, and then the material, it's $74 per pajama. And in this economy, like, come on, guys. And the material is like cheaper than Walmart material, okay? It's like, but they're saying it's such good material and this, that, and the other, whatever. And they're getting called out left, right, and center. They're getting called out for being like, one, it's $74. Two, you're not putting packing slips in. You're not telling us what the size chart is. Like, what do you expect, right? So they come back with a video basically saying, anyways, they're not really handling it properly. The main thing I'm trying to say is amongst all of this, I understand that they made a mistake. They're making a very bad mistake. They're not responding to the situation correctly, but they're getting death threats. And it's like, I can't process people getting death threats.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's just wild that, like, the world is this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are getting death threats for pajamas.
Yeah.
Like, have we ever done this to like, Gucci? Have we ever done this to whatever? I'm sure they're better quality, but just the thought of, like, I understand they're making a mistake. They're being horrible. The price tag, the everything. Like, people feel offended that they were excited to support them and they can't. And, like, I understand all of those things. But sending death threats to somebody over pajamas is wild. You can have an opinion. You can have a strong opinion. I think if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. All of it is fine, and they can deal with it a terrible way, and you can have an opinion about that. But talking about their kids, talking about like, what goes through your mind to think that's okay?
I know.
And that's the world we live in. Like, pajamas, bro. Like, what? And also, like, you're getting mad at them for doing that to pajamas. Like, aren't you horrible? Like, an eye for an eye? Like, is that what we're doing here? Like, you're worse for, like, giving them death threats for this kind of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just justified.
It's weird. It's a weird world. You know what else is weird?
What?
Did you watch the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
I didn't.
You shouldn't have. It
What?
just made
I heard.
sad.
But you know what? Okay, can we talk about this? Did you know Mike Tyson is not a great person?
Yeah. Bro, I didn't know much about
I
it.
had no idea. I had zero idea.
I know he's a big deal.
Yeah.
In that world. Like, I get it. He's a big deal. All I knew was this guy probably has some anger issues because I've heard
what I thought
wild
too.
shit about
Yeah.
him, right? Oh my God. He's the worst person.
He's a horrible man.
And, like, recently he's been going on podcasts being like, I've, like, changed and, like, with this, like, lisp and, like...
And he's so cute with his lisp. Like, it's just
so cute.
whatever.
But it's like, now you can't, like, bro, like, so much has happened.
Yes.
Man's has...
Done it all
It's
in the worst way.
Did you see he bit off someone's ear?
Yeah.
And he
So the bit off somebody's ear for me, it's like not as bad in like the ratio of things because I'm
Yeah.
like, you're a fighter, you're going to fight, like whatever. It was a
Yeah.
part of it. It's horrible. Like the energy to be able to fucking bite off somebody's ear is wild.
Yeah.
But everything else, and the thing is, I was rooting for him. I said,
were?
poor man. I was
Yeah.
like, poor man. Like, why would they make him do that? Like, it's so crazy. And
Yeah.
I was like, and my dad and people were like, he's obviously doing it for money. Like, he obviously needs money, and that's why he's doing it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so terrible that he has to do that for money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sappy sad for this man, the old man. And then I sat there, and my dad goes, do you know anything about him? I was like, no. And then my fiance goes, let's talk about it. And I was shocked. And then I said, what am I rooting for?
I couldn't like read through everything. I know about like his stuff from his like past marriages. There was that case, the court case.
I didn't even know any of that.
Well, I knew from like that day that I was
Yeah.
searching.
Yeah.
I didn't know outside of that.
I was like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. Like he's a bad cookie. I mean,
so are Jake Paul and fucking Logan Paul.
yeah.
They're
so
not great.
I think it's like, you know, he's done bad shit. I can see like he lost his parents when he was really young.
Yeah.
He even like his manager, like apparently like his very like he fucked him up. Like he took a bunch of money. This guy was like bankrupt. Like there was a lot of shit going on. Doesn't justify anything that he did, but I can understand like he was in a pretty shit place where he didn't have anyone. Like he felt like he didn't have anyone.
Hurt people.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like I think you know why it was a sad fight. It's not that I was rooting for him. It's just not a good look to see someone like an old man getting beat up by this guy. And the guy could have done much worse, you know, like I know he didn't do as bad as he could have, like, cause he's a younger guy. Obviously he's like 27 and this guy's like 58. He could have done much worse. That was probably like, you know, talked about beforehand and like all of that. And like, I don't know, like it's just, it didn't feel good to watch that fight. And, you know, Jake Paul, I think that's just what he does. He gets crowds like into the stadiums, like into to watch and like stuff like that. And so it makes sense why he did it, and it makes sense why Mike did it too. But I think like what Mike was saying was that the fact that he lasted through all those rounds is what like he is proud of. Like I don't think he anticipated winning. And most people didn't anticipate him winning. A lot of people won a lot of money because they didn't anticipate him winning. Except for Drake. Drake was fighting for Mike.
That's nice. That's sweet. He has enough money. He has money to lose. It's okay.
Yeah, that's factual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But yeah, it was just a sad, weird thing. And then like I know like people were talking about like what is this, what do we get entertained by?
This is the Hunger Games. This is what it is. This is like we enjoy things crashing and burning. Like they want to see that. They want it. And it is, and I am guilty of it. I watch trash TV, trash reality shows. I watch all those things. I want to see people, I don't want to see people argue, but I want to see drama because I don't have that in my own life. It is entertaining. All of those things. And that's what is so crazy. And I think the closer we get, like because of social media, we've gotten so much more like, there's this like parasocial relationship where people feel like they have they are entitled to those moments, and because they have closer access to these moments now, they're entitled to have these moments, and you have to perform for them. Like, you know, like I don't know, man, it's insane. Like the amount of people that like see social media people in like on the streets and do whatever, like. And the way they act and react to them is wild. Like Dax Shepard the other day, he was talking about how he was at a restaurant, he was at a burger joint just by himself, and this man like obviously recognized him, and he like came up to him and he's like, "Hey brother, how nice is it?" I'm paraphrasing. "Hey brother, how nice was it of your wife to allow you to be a part of her commercial?" Like, isn't that cool? And in his head, Dax is like, "I literally wrote and directed that commercial that Kristen was in and I was in." But this guy, like, that was his first thing to say, right? And so he said something snippy back, and he kind of regretted it a little bit. But then I'm like, that is so terrible that like they just feel like they have access to you, and they feel like they can. Yeah, it's
sure.
insane.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here.
We hope you enjoyed. We hope you were here with us on the ride. If you are watching till the end, let us know if you prefer Shoot the Shits, because maybe we'll just continue to just do Shoot the Shits, because I think that's more fun in general to make anyway. You can like, comment, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, literally everywhere, and on Instagram at
ALMST.
there. And yeah, thanks for being here. Goodbye.
Bye.